E-commerce is like this super cool puzzle that you uncover at a store. And as you look at it, you get more and more excited as to how you're going to solve it. You imagine yourself scattering all the pieces on the ground and putting them together and making this epic masterpiece. And as you're in the cash register, making your purchase and finalizing it, you get more and more excited. You feel the same way on the drive back home as well. And right when you get home, first thing you do is change out of your clothes, put on some comfy PJs, sit down with your little puzzle box, you open it up and you scatter all the pieces. And then right then and there, you realize that this is not going to be as easy or as simple or as straightforward as you thought it was going to be. You realize this isn't something you're actually going to finish in a day. It might take you a week, perhaps 3 weeks, maybe even a month. You know that at the end of constructing this puzzle, you're going to construct something beautiful, but the thought of working on it for so long, the thought or the confusion that you feel when you look at all the scattered pieces deter you from pursuing this challenge. And at the end of the day, after about a week or two of working on it, you get frustrated, you get upset, pack up all the pieces in the box and throw it in the back of your closet. I think I just came up with the most perfect analogy for Ecomm because this is how I felt for these last 3 to 4 years that I've been working on it. I had my first bout with Ecomm in 2022. As many people during the COVID time, we were trying to uncover new businesses to start online, new things to do, or new ways to spend our time. And I started to think more and more about the idea of drop shipping, not having any inventory, yet making money off of products that someone else was going to ship. And I absolutely fell in love with it. I loved it. A friend of mine sent me over a course. I started watching the course videos and started applying everything. I built my Shopify site. I found a cool product. But then I purchased the product. It took more than 2 months to get to me. And I just kind of packed up that puzzle and put it in the back of my closet. I reattempted again after about 1.5 to 2 years in 2022. Went with the print on demand model and it did well in the beginning. I actually started selling after only 3 weeks and I sold for about a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4, and then the usual drop happens when things slow down. And then again, I packed up the puzzle right before completing it this time. I had done a lot more than the first, but I packed it up and I threw it again in the back of my closet. And I finally opened up that puzzle again in August of 2023. And I feel with relative certainty and confidence that this time around, I'm not fully complete with the puzzle, but I am never wrapping it up and putting it back in my closet. I still have some pieces missing or many pieces missing, but I'm going to and I'm committed to solving this challenge. So that's why I thought of making this video, because I feel I've had a lot of ups and downs with Ecomm. I've had really great months and months in succession. I've had really bad days. I have really bad weeks. I've given up many times. But over this past year, I've been super consistent every single day, and I've grown my TikTok shop, which is primarily where I sell, to thousands and thousands of orders. I've gotten a couple thousand on the Shopify as well, and things have been going well for me. Not to say that there isn't any challenges. I'm actually going through a very rough period right now where things are very slow, right? I'm not gonna lie, this last month of September, I only did around 450 orders the whole month, which to me was pretty disappointing, especially considering it was 30% lower than the previous month. But this video is going to be of value to you if you're someone who's just starting out in Ecomm, or you've been doing it and you're reaching that kind of challenging phase now. The going is getting tough. You've had your really high peak, but things have slowed down. I've put together 3 key concepts that have allowed me to get this recent success, and more importantly, stay on trying to complete this puzzle until it's fully complete, no matter how long it takes. The number one point I want to talk about is when you dedicate yourself to Ecomm, you need to truly dedicate yourself to this. This is not going to be a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to make a ton of money in your first month or your second. And even if you do in your 4th and 5th months, things are going to slow down. You're going to have difficult times. But if you're someone who, when things get tough, when things slow down, you're immediately going to go and try to jump ship and find a different side hustle to pursue or a different business model to pursue, you are never going to have that ultimate success. What I feel is that Ecomm, anyone can be very successful in it. Anyone can do hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to millions if you're willing to commit 3 to 5 years to it. 3 to 5 years, that's all you have to do of commitment to it, and you are going to start seeing results and you are going to start seeing success. The problem is most people are not willing to give it time. And I know this isn't some sort of revolutionary advice, but it really is the truth. if you are picking up this puzzle to try to work on, before completing it, jump into another puzzle and then jump into a third puzzle, you're not going to complete any of those puzzles. You're going to get very frustrated and you're going to think that puzzles are a scam. That's probably what you think about Ecomm, about making money online. You're probably sitting there like, but I'm seeing that guy do it, and I'm seeing that guy do it, I'm seeing that one do it, and that one just made 20K in his third month, and that person just made 100K in their first 20 days. I saw it on YouTube. Put all of that to the side, clear out all the noise. It's like, I like to think of my brain as this bubble. There's this protective layer around it where I can just focus on one path and I don't let anything come in and interfere with my bubble. I'm not watching other YouTube videos about different side hustles. I'm not watching videos of people who the title is like how I made $1 million in 20 days from dropshipping, or 20-day dropshipping challenge, or anything like that. Nothing that involves a rush or quick. You need to, the content that you consume is going to play a big part in this as well, because you need to find content that is more long-term focused. That's value focused content, guides that are long, guides that are unedited, guides about specific topics within Ecomm that you can start to put the pieces together and eventually solve this. And once you do this, once you stick to it for a year or two, you're going to start seeing initial results. That is guaranteed. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you, the first mistake I made when I started in 2020 is that I couldn't even stick to it for a year. Immediately, I got a product that shipped too long, that wasn't great. Once I got it in hand, I wrapped it up and put it away. That doesn't make much sense. No one's gonna hit it off. You're not gonna strike gold from the first shovelful that you dig up of dirt. That's almost impossible. No one can do that. So my first piece of advice to you is set it up on your vision board or whatever. Write it up on a piece of paper like I do right here. Make a commitment to yourself, a promise to yourself that you're going to do this for the long term. This second point is actually something that I'm dealing with a bit right now. It's kind of personal to me, and that is imposter syndrome. So let's say things start doing well for you, right? For 6 months to a year and a half, consistently, your business is doing well. Your business is growing. But then things start to slow down a bit and you begin to think and reflect to yourself, am I good enough for this? Like, can I actually do this? Was this all just, I got lucky? And this is something I've been feeling over these last few weeks. And obviously I have to fight it constantly, fight it. But I sat there and I said, like, my business has done good over this past year. Like, I've gotten over like thousands of orders. But is that it? Like, is this the max I can reach? Are all these people that talk about success with Ecomm online, they're like lying and they're actually making money now through courses, and Ecomm was just a way to get more viewers on YouTube or to grow their YouTube channel? But then again, I sit back and I actually worked in the e-commerce industry, in sales, in tech sales. I was selling an e-commerce software. And I think to all those business that I worked, those accounts, and I look at them like, that business was making $1 million a month. They didn't even have a good functioning website. They didn't even do email marketing, one of the basics. They weren't even on TikTok. They were doing $1 million a month. I have all these skills, all these abilities, and I'm over here doubting myself. Self-doubt and imposter syndrome needs to get erased. You need to have an iron mind. I think this is very, very important. I think the mental aspect is honestly what prevents 80% of people who have all the potential from actually fulfilling that potential. You might sit there and you start consuming too much content, right? Let's say you want to start drop shipping, you consume a ton of content about drop shipping and you find out every single little thing about it. In all honesty, I don't think that's a good method of going about things. I think you should only know 40, 50, maybe 60% about something before you start it, because then once you learn too much about it, you're going to start seeing all the difficulties and the challenges of it. And you might start to talk yourself out of doing it. You might start to think, wow, this seems like a headache, man. Am I good enough for this? Can I handle this? Can I juggle working my job and doing this? I don't know. This seems like it's a big commitment. And that's where you make the mistake. So I think the way to avoid imposter syndrome, or at least fight it, is in one way, just literally fighting it and telling yourself, no, I am good enough. I am good enough. I know it sounds corny, but you have to sit there and really be confident in what you can do. And second, don't consume too much content, even about Ecomm. Right? Really try, again, build that brain barrier and filter the information that enters. Because if you enter in too much, your brain is going to start telling you, like, this might be difficult. We might lose a lot of money. I don't know if you're going to be able to handle this. And eventually it's going to cause you to quit. And point number 3, and honestly, I was super excited for this one because I have a great analogy for it. So if you're someone who is a soccer fan, a football fan, I've been a soccer fan since I was a kid, since I was 3, since I was born with a soccer ball in my hand. And I've been watching soccer from a very, very young age. Something that I noticed is, even the greatest players of all time, Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe, Zlatan, anyone, any great striker, let's focus on strikers specifically. Any great striker who scores a ton of goals, they will always have a period during the season where they have a goal drought. Everyone has had it. Lewandowski, Suarez, Benzema, Aguero, everyone. They're proven goal scorers. They've scored hundreds of goals in their career, but whether they transfer to a new team, they're coming back from an injury, or their mental state is not there, they suffer a goal drought. And the whole entire world sits back and says, do they still have it? Can they still do it? Are they still capable? Did they get too old? Did the injuries destroy them? Is their confidence shot and they're never going to recover? What do they always do? The top caliber players, they always recover. Every single one of them. They always recover. The drought might last for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but you start to see in them that they are committed and the confidence is there. They sit back and they think, look at all the work I'm putting in. I know I'm capable of this. And eventually that goal drought is broken and the floodgates open. All of a sudden there's bagging goals again. A hat trick, 3 goals, 4 goals, 2 goals, and then they recover very, very quickly. This is exactly what happens to any top professional. And e-commerce professionals, e-commerce business owners are no exception to this rule. There's going to be periods of times where you're going to feel on top of the world. You just had your biggest month, you made 100K. Something goes wrong, maybe an inventory comes in damaged, maybe someone makes a bad review, maybe someone posts a negative TikTok about your business and things slow down. You know, you go from 100K a month to the next. For the first week of the following month, you only made like 3K. You sit back and you're like, oh shit, is it all over? Is the dream done now? Do I have to go back to work at my job? And this has happened to me so much, but I can promise you that in these moments, this is what separates a successful entrepreneur, a successful brand owner from an unsuccessful one. The unsuccessful one is gonna sit there and be like, well, the trend is over, the magic is done. Time to get back to work, to get back to my 9 to 5. And the other one's gonna sit there and say, hey, I'm calm, I'm chilling right now, I'm stoic, I know I'm going to recover from this. And you start thinking, all right, what went wrong? Let's see how we can remedy this. Is the product not selling as well? This is what's happening to me right now. My kind of summer, spring collection is not selling as well. You sit back and you're like, all right, let's maybe bring in a new collection, maybe change up the content. Let's see what some competitors are doing. We can add our personal twist to it. Let's see what has changed. Sometimes nothing honestly has changed. It's just a slow period and you just have to keep going and stay consistent. What do all the great strikers do? No matter how many times they miss, no matter how many times they go without a goal, they're gonna keep shooting. You need to keep striking and as hard as you can, and you need to show up to training as early as you can. And this translates to making better content, making more content, getting more affiliates, getting more influencers, increasing, maybe doing a sale, trying something new. You'll always see this. Like you'll see that striker, that player who's having the drought, they might start to drop a little bit deeper to receive the ball. They might start to go into the box more. They might try to change their runs a little bit. They'll review their performances and then they'll adapt them to go back to how they were. But no matter what, everyone, every successful person has their ups and their downs. I even think, even my GOAT, Ronaldo, even Ronaldo had some really bad periods, some rough patches. When he was at Manchester United for the second time, I don't want to turn this into a soccer video. When he was at Manchester United the second time, what happened? The first season was great. He was killing it. The second season, new manager comes in, he benches him. What does Ronaldo do? He trains harder. He takes more shots on goal when he gets into the game. He scored a couple goals and then he went to a different team. And then what happened after the transfer? He was in a new country, wasn't getting as much media attention, wasn't getting as many eyes on him, and is still crushing it. And he got back to it. With the Portugal national team, he is still crushing it. You know, if someone of his stature, after being completely disrespected by a manager, he might start thinking, is the age getting to me? Am I getting old? Maybe I should retire. Maybe I should retire from the national team at least. He kept going with it all. Still on the national team, still starting for the national team, still breaking international records, still breaking world records in terms of goals scored at club level, still doing it all. That's how you need to be. It's the mentality. The iron mind is what is going to get you there. And I say this to you, but I also say it to myself, because I know sometimes for me, when things slow down or there's a dip, I sit back and I'm like, those annoying little thoughts start to creep in, like, shit, should I just wrap up this puzzle and throw it back and act like nothing happened and maybe go back to the job? No. That is never going to happen. I'm telling you right now, I'm looking to this camera. My stuff has slowed down these last few weeks. September was like what, 450 orders, I think I said, something like that. This month right now, October, November, December are going to be my biggest months of the entire year. All those previous records that I had, I'm going to surpass them all, and I know that you can do the exact same thing. So apply everything that I mentioned in this video, apply it bit by bit, and you will see results. I guarantee you, there's no doubt in my mind. You are going to see results. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it brought value to you. I hope it gave you some inspiration. If you're new here, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and down below you will find a free TikTok shop course that I put together. Also includes an extra module, a bonus module about email and SMS marketing. So that course is beneficial to anyone. It's totally free, and it'll be the first link down below. There you'll also find my one-on-one consultation link and also my one-on-one coaching link for TikTok shop. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. I'm out.